So, Talking Head, is that something that's accurate in the Talmud, that their plan is they're going to destroy the black and the white races? They're going to take all the shekels, and then they're going to blast off into space to go fight God in the name of Lucifer and finally win that age-old battle. Can you find anything on Google about that?
Why would I bother looking that up? I'm not going to waste my time.
Because this is what the rabbi is telling me. I just want to make sure he's giving me accurate information. I mean,
it's that's fine. Go through with the bit. I think it's a bad bit. I think it's something that like people might actually take seriously. I don't know.
You are watching the New World Order broadcast. We are coming to you live from the end of the world. I am your host, the Hat Man. I am joined in the studio today by Harry, the Taxman.
Yeah, now I'm the Axeman.
The Axeman?
The Axeman.
Why are you the Axeman?
Because I found the baby's mother, so now she volunteered her head to become the mother. Now we gotta look for the body.
It's a little weird. I'm gonna bring up a few coincidences with this in a second. But what are you wearing, by the way? You're wearing a legal document.
I'm wearing my Santa Claus outfit and my gun permit.
You're wearing a t-shirt that is your gun permit. Okay. Well, hopefully that keeps cops from shooting you. That's the hope.
Oh, whatever.
And we're joined by Talking Head number 6. How are you doing, my friend?
Doing all right. It's funny. I saw Harry over there in the Santa lounge coat, smoking jacket, whatever you want to call it. And I figured maybe with us recording on Mother's Day currently that he was going to bring up some kind of like satanic cabal origin of the holiday thing, but apparently not.
Harry, is there a satanic cabal origin to Mother's Day?
I have no idea.
I think personally it's a greeting card created holiday, and they love making holidays for women because they know they're going to make a lot of money.
Yep.
I mean, if it's not Mother's Day, what's the other one? It's Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
And if you don't spend X amount of dollars, you don't love me.
But, yeah, right. if you tell a woman to expect something on a certain day of the year, regardless if it was like the first Mother's Day, it's guaranteed they're going to be angry if you forget to buy something.
Well, he should know.
Why should he know?
Oh, come on. After all,
his girlfriend's a cat mama.
Yeah.
Okay,
but don't make no promises to her.
Okay, all right. So I'm sorry.
Duly noted.
Fair enough.
So, but yeah, I actually do know. I actually believe I do know the origin of Mother's Day. I think it was like created by a woman who later on got very angry about how commercialized it became because it was supposed to, in the time that it was created, when mothers obviously stayed at home and took care of the house. So the fact that it turned into like greeting card bullshit, she got very mad about, if I'm remembering the story correctly.
So why did she create it in the first place?
Oh, to like honor mothers and like, hey, maybe like fucking thank your mom and give her a break and do the dishes and wash your own ass.
And was this woman who created it a mother?
I assume.
Women are very good at giving themselves pats on the back for fucking everything.
Maybe she was Jewish.
Maybe she was. Talking Ed, was it?
Maybe
was it
she was Swedish. I don't know. What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Maybe she owned the Jewish business and she wanted to make some money. Shekels.
Oh, shekels. Yeah.
Shekels.
Yeah. Harry likes saying things that we have no context for yet because he knows what's coming up. He's here when I'm building all the clips for the podcasts, so he knows what's coming up.
His casual racism does get rather circuitous at times.
Oh my goodness. I think that it's much more than casual, but he's of a certain age, so his racism is excusable.
Yes, my age. I can do anything I want, and I can blame my age.
Oh my God, he's like giving the business to waitresses. We went out to a restaurant the other day. He's flirting with her. She's like, mate, she's too young for me. He's like totally flirting with her. She's like, oh, aren't you adorable? I'm like, how long do I have to wait before I can get away with that shit?
Another 30 years.
Yeah, I guess. So tell me a little bit about what you were talking about with the heads. What's going on with these fucking heads?
Well, we figured the baby was an orphan. So therefore now we can't raise him as an orphan. So we had to bring him a mother.
Okay.
So she volunteered her head.
Wow. For Mother's Day.
Wow. Hi, Rollin.
Oh, my goodness. I think I gave you too much coffee this morning. Holy cow.
You only get me 1 cup of coffee.
I think that might have been too much.
Let me guess that the head was volunteered below some power lines in the middle of the desert.
Well, I went back to 1803 with the French Revolution. I thought it was the Frenchmen.
The French Revolution. he walked in. So the story of this is, if you want to check out the fine expression on this young lady, I got it in camera right now. Talking Head, would you like to guess where this actually came from?
I'm going to guess an adult story of some kind.
So he walks in one day with this young broad, and she looks like a skin suit, and he goes, all right, well, I think it's about time that Ralph has a daughter. And we've been talking about this for over a year. When you used to come to the podcast in person and you used to be sitting where he's sitting, he's like, well, you got Ralph over your shoulder. I want some sexy witch or something over Talking Head shoulder. I was like, that's a great idea. We can surprise him with it. And so he started looking into real, like, legit sex dolls. And they're all like super expensive. So he finds one that's like $60.
No, $140.
$140. I was like, Harry, that's a ripoff, man. There's no such thing as a decent sex doll under like $1,500 because, you know, I don't know why I know this, but I just happen to know these things. And
planning on marrying a real doll someday.
We're building her.
It's getting to that point, man. It's definitely getting to that point. So anyway, so I was like, no, that's not going to work. So then he tries it anyway. And I think you had to go to the bank and change your debit card number 8 times in the process. Yeah, something like that, 6 to 8 times. And, you know, after we finally realized, you know, I knew after he finally realized this is not going to work out, you know, you have to spend at least $1,500. Kind of gave up on it. I think this is when I was going to do the solar thing. So then he comes in the other day with this skin suit, and he goes, I think I found her. And I was like, okay, I'm not touching that, first of all, because it came from your room. It did not come from a store. So, yeah. Anyway, so then he tries to fill it up with, you know, that expandy foam?
There's a great stuff.
Great Stuff. It's actually called Great Stuff. Right. That's the brand name. Talking Head. Are you familiar with that?
I am not, but I can probably speculate as to what the consistency of it would be.
Styrofoam.
Yeah. So like a lot of people use it for like insulation, or especially like around your windows and shit. It's foam that as soon as you spray it, as soon as it hits oxygen, it expands. So he's trying to.
It's like a liquid filler. Yeah.
Exactly. So he's trying to spray it into the doll, but it's not expanding because there's like no oxygen in it. And I was like, all right, well, let's do this. Let's just stab her in the chest. That way there's oxygen. And he's like, no, we're not doing that. And I was like, okay, well, you know, he's like, I'll get packing peanuts. We'll force him in there through the valve. I was like, okay, fair enough. You know, if you want to make it harder, I say we just stab her. And he's like, well, what about if we stab her in the back? And I was like, well, okay. If that's better than stabbing her in the chest, I don't fucking see what the difference is. We can do that. And then, you know, we're getting ready to do the podcast today, and he disappears, and he's like, he comes back with the fucking head. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, so you're not going to stab her in the chest, but you just fucking decapitate her. Fair enough. Okay. So now we have a new head.
I'm guessing the liquid filling situation didn't work out then.
No.
I'm guessing we might be abandoning the body.
No.
We're not abandoning the body. What's the plan?
I went to the shipping company and got 4 bags of the peanut, and I'm going to fill the body up with the peanuts, then seal it up, then shoot the styrofoam, because then like 3/4 of the peanuts, then it will expand it and take the form.
Okay. All right.
And then we'll have somebody behind me.
All right.
She's going to look like she has some kind of hideous condition. She's going to be so lumpy.
No.
Listen, you should not be body shaming anybody. It's
Oh, hey, I'm lumpy as hell. She's going to look like she's got like the mumps or something.
She's going to look like she's like made out of cellulite. It's going to be great.
No, I did this with inflatable boats. It works great, but the styrofoam peanuts take up the space, and then when I put the styrofoam in the can in, it expands it, and it glues itself together.
Now, here's a weird coincidence. While we were getting ready to do, and we're doing our sound check for the podcast, me and Talking Head are watching a video from the Y-Files, which is our new favorite channel. We watch that all the time with AJ and Hecklefish. And the video that I happen to bring up here is they're doing the last scene from the movie Seven, where Brad Pitt's character keeps screaming, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" And it's his fucking wife's head in the movie. In the movie. And then you walk in with this fucking head. It's like, Jesus Christ. I don't know. Something weird's going on today.
That's why I was asking, like, what was the delivery method for the head? Was it brought to you by a UPS truck under some power lines in the desert?
Exactly.
My K-bar.
Yeah, he just very I'm imagining this was a very violent interaction between him and Ralph's daughter. Ralph, by the way, does not seem extremely concerned about any of this. His daughter now being
he doesn't really seem to get rattled by much.
Not much. He's pretty. I don't know how often he meditates, if he goes to hot yoga every day while I'm asleep. I don't know, but he has more emotional equanimity than anybody I've ever met. I think the only time I've seen him move is when we filmed that commercial for the New World Order.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the only time I've ever seen him do anything.
I feel like the skull on the green board behind you is having a more appropriate reaction to the decapitated person, but that might just be because he's missing his skin himself.
He is. Yeah. He is a handsome devil himself, though. So, anyway.
In his own right.
In his own right. Some people just don't need skin to be handsome, is what it is. But here's an important thing to remember. You may need your skin to be handsome. You may not need your skin to be handsome. But here's my recommendation to everybody. You don't know until you try. So try taking it off and see if you look better. And send us the video. Nobody else thinks that's a good idea, huh?
Well,
I mean, it all depends on what you're planning on doing after that. If you pack like butter and rosemary and thyme under your skin and then, put yourself in the oven for like, what is it? How many minutes per pound?
I don't know.
Well, why don't you do look like Soupy Sales does? He said, listen, kids, send $5 to Soupy. Soupy could use the help. Go in your mother's purse and get $5 and mail to me.
Ooh.
And they did, and he caught hell for it.
Ooh, I don't know who this is. Who's
Soupy
Soupy
Sales,
Sales?
1950. You guys are too young to remember that.
Indeed we are.
Indeed.
Yeah,
I'm familiar with the name. He's a comedian, right?
Right, he's a comedian.
Yeah.
That was around Sandy Becker, the Merry Mailman, a few of the comedians.
So this comedian had the balls to do advertising where he told kids to go steal money from their parents and send it to him?
And they did.
Well,
oh my God. That's fucking
He
amazing.
was ostensibly he was joking, but yeah, the kids didn't know that because it was televised. So it was supposed to be a joke kind of for the parents who were watching with their kids, like, aha, that's so funny. But I think they underestimated how many children were being left in front of the TV unattended.
Okay, so I have a plan here. How can we very quickly get our average age audience down to 8? Because I want to try this.
I mean, how Mr. Beast? I don't know.
How completely do we have to change this program in order to get an average audience of 8 years old? Because right now it's 44, because I'm 44 and I'm most of our viewers on a plethora of different Chrome profiles that I created to pump our numbers up every week. So, so how can we attract children to watch this nonsense? Any ideas? Because I do want to try this. I think this is a great way to get some shekels.
Why not?
I think you need to make slime and teach kids how to make slime.
Slime's a good idea. Yeah, okay, so let's do videos teaching children how to make slime, and then we'll
also mail cash.
And also mail cash. We'll teach them how to... I mean, you don't even have to lick the stamps nowadays. It's pretty easy. They should be able to figure it out.
Tell them to make other stuff. Mix some kerosene with petroleum jelly. And that's a little dash of gasoline. and let's say we'll call it How to Start a Campfire.
Oh, dude, I think what we're going to call it like Harry's Playhouse or something. We got to do this the whole fucking way, man.
Oh, my God. I can very seriously imagine a version of Pee-wee's Playhouse starring Harry where, like, all the characters, instead of being like fucked up in that weird zany way, they're just like all like run down, beat up chairs that are talking to him, or like, the fireplace with the spinning fans on top of it, like put googly eyes in the center of those.
Yeah, and then like one day you'll teach them how to make hydroglycerin, then you'll teach them how to make what's that fucking shit that they use in Vietnam to
napalm.
Napalm.
Yeah.
Yeah, napalm's easy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make it right out of soap.
So I think this is.
You know what? Today is just very Brad Pitt centric, because that's like the entire scene from Fight Club where he's like sitting there and talking to Edward Norton's character. He's like, sitting there, scrape off the top. You got glycerine. Sit there and add gasoline, dash sawdust. You got yourself dynamite. Yes, with enough soap, you can blow up anything.
That's an excellent point. Yeah. Interesting. All right. So I guess maybe Brad Pitt died and his ghost has come to visit us. I don't know. It is kind of weird though. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's really fucking me up that we just happened to be watching. I just clicked on the first video that popped up on our feed, and it was AJ and Hecklefish and somebody else doing the last scene from 7, and then he walks in with a fucking severed head that he refused to stab in the chest. I guess like he really almost seemed offended when I said just stab her in the chest, let some oxygen in. He's like, no, but maybe in the back.
You don't stab the milk jugs.
What's that?
You don't stab the milk jugs.
Oh,
I think what he's trying to say is that her milkshake brought all the boys to the yard, and he is all the boys.
And you're all the boys. All right, you're right. You're right. We really shouldn't desecrate boobs, no matter how horrible they look. And 80s blow-up doll boobs are pretty much the worst boobs, but I get it. They are boobs. You got to protect them. You got to treat them right. Fair enough. I get it.
After all, that was your first feeding station.
That's true. Yeah. I remember my first apartment, too. I wish I could erase that memory. Yeah. So Talking Head, I wanted to tell you a little bit about our Gray Towers experience, the art show that we did.
Oh yeah, so apparently I saw you put that it was pretty windy. I was giving you some issues.
A little bit, man. Yeah. So so you know how I am. I'm pretty conscientious about my smoking habit. So I'm set up. You know, we it's super windy and it's raining on and off. And I'm like, okay, let's set up the tent first thing. And we happened to bring a tent that didn't have the fabric, so it's not a tent. It's just like, you know, the legs. The architecture.
It's just a tent skeleton.
It's essentially a tent skeleton. Yeah, it, actually, if we had what's her face's body over here, we could have skinned her and just used that. But so we had like no tent. I'm like, okay. And he went to go try to get one and didn't work. But anyway, so I was like, well, nothing.
Was this an accident then? Like he intended to bring a tent and just brought the frame without the tent part?
Brought the wrong part. One.
Yeah, he has several. Anything that Harry has one of, there's three more. There's not one of anything. So like, he brought the wrong one, but he went. Long story short, we don't have a tent. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, fine. So I had a whole display board. We couldn't set that up. That's fine. I try to put out my business cards and shit. I put heavy things on top of them. There's this lovely lady that we set up next to who was totally like professional and had a tent and things. I mean, they had like, her and her husband had like a little art gallery set up outside in the field. It was like amazing. He has like his paintings and shit hanging on the walls. You can walk in. It's like a room. So professional, and then my shit's just blowing off the table constantly, and she's running around like picking up my business cards and shit. Wonderful woman. I felt really bad. I was like, dude.
They had a whole lot of inventory too, and that tent had to be $500.
Oh yeah,
it was a camp tent that the military picked up. They had everything.
It was a tent that was for doing exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, they came well appropriated for what they were doing.
They're obviously invested, yeah. And to put it quite bluntly, I am not. But anyway, so this woman's running around. She's tracking down, and I had a whole bunch of flyers that I printed out for people to put in the fishbowl if they didn't have a business card to enter for the free portrait session I was going to do and all that. And I had to put everything away. Everything's blowing off the table. Fuck this. But I was like, you know what? They wanted me to paint while I'm here. I got my easel. I got my Pinchot painting. I'm gonna fucking paint. Fuck this. Okay? So here's how strong the wind was. I don't like smoking around people. So I walk 20 yards into the fields to go smoke. The wind's starting to die down and everything. I just started painting. It looks like the rain is gonna stop. And somebody's saying something. I'm like, I can't hear you. Hang on a second. I put out my cigarette and I walk back over. As soon as I get 4 feet, here's what happens. So I have my palette full of oil paint. It's very heavy. It's wood sitting on a table. The palette flips up, slams into the easel. It's like flying through the air, slams into the easel, and the easel lifts up off all 3 legs and flies directly into me. I catch it in one hand, the painting, and the palette is like stuck to the fucking easel, and I'm just holding it there until the wind dies down. The wind dies down, the palette falls on the floor. It's fucking incredible. I was like, okay, none of this is gonna work out. So
that was the wind god.
It was not happening, man. It was so weird. Like just that day, just during the like as soon as it was time to leave, it was a beautiful day. But 15 minutes to time to leave, windy and rainy. So I was like, all right, none of this shit's going to work. But here, it wasn't a total waste. Here's what we learned from this experience. Harry is a master salesman.
No, not really.
Bullshit. I got video proof.
No, you just got a bunch of people that were interested in what I had.
So talking head, I swear to God, every time I turn around, Harry's got a group of at least 3. The most that I saw was 8 people gathered around listening to him tell them about income taxes.
With the help of Urban Schiff.
Yeah, I know you had like the puppets there. So he had a couple puppets there. And this is what he would do. But he was like holding court. It was fucking incredible. So he's sitting there. It is like nobody's talking to me. Like, you know, like not until like the very end. Like nobody's fucking talking to me. Everybody's coming up, walking down, and here's what he does. So he's got his puppets hanging out there. He's got a puppet of Irving Schiff and a puppet of who's
Joe
the other?
Bannister.
Joe Bannister. So Irving Schiff wrote The Federal Mafia. It's about how to stop paying income taxes. He does the zero return. And Joe Bannister is an ex-IRS agent that actually quit the IRS once he figured out that
He was told to resign.
He was told to resign because he brought up to his boss, I guess, that this was actually illegal to insist that people pay income taxes. So he's got a puppet made of each of these guys that the Great White Huntress, our mother, made for him. Now, these motherfuckers aren't blowing over, by the way. They're fine. Okay? And anybody... What's that?
They're porous. Wind can go through them. Your oil painting's like a sail.
I guess, but they're not that porous that wind can go through them, let's be honest.
See, I think you should have embraced the chaos, and instead of trying to continue to paint and like do what you were doing, you should have just turned it into an art show. You should have had Harry grab some fishing line. I've seen all the fishing rods at his house. I'm sure he's got fishing line. You should have had him grab a hole punch and just punch holes in the business card and tie them all to fishing lines, and then sit there and get a and fly your painting like a kite while you sit there and like have the business cards all fluttering around on their little strings.
Dude, can you imagine how much more of a difficult time I would have had if I had like a stretch canvas instead of a panel? I mean, it literally would have been flying through the air.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, you should have just embraced the chaos and flown a painting kite.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, essentially what Harry was doing was fishing anyway. I mean, everybody that walked by, so they didn't approach him. Okay, so they're walking by, and he see, as soon as they make eye contact with the fucking puppets, his radar goes off, right? And he's like, "Hey, so what do you think of my friends?" And everybody, Talking Head, you did sales with me, and we used to complain all the time about how everybody says the same fucking thing, like you can script this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So everybody at this fucking show said the same fucking thing. And he goes, "So what do you think of my friends?" And they all say, "Oh, they look really happy." And then Harry goes,
"Nah.
They're not happy."
We're going to make you happy.
They're not happy. But you know why? Because they figured out that paying income taxes is illegal. But we're going to make you happy. Let me tell you how. And then, dude, he's like, I mean, legit holding court with groups between 3 and 8 fucking people at a time. He gave away 12 packets of information about how to stop paying income taxes. He even sold one of his shungite pieces. He makes the shungite jewelry. He sold one of them. Fucking woman comes up to him, happens to be from Russia, where you get shungite from, and she's like, "Well, explain this shit to me." So he's explaining it to her. And she's like, "Oh, well, I want something just to, because I've heard a lot about this, and I want to get something to interrupt the, the Wi-Fi. I'm kind of concerned about it." He's like, "Oh, so what you need is this side. Usually I sell this size. Usually I sell this for $45. I'm going to give it to you for $30. Bullshit, he sells them for $30. I know what he's doing. That's exactly what a good salesman does. Well, usually it's $45. I'll give it to you for $30. And she fucking buys it on the spot. Of course. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit. Like, every time Harry and I have a conversation about, when I'm looking for a job or I'm looking for work and shit that I've done in the past, he always says to me the same fucking thing is, "Think I'd be a terrible salesperson." And I always go, "Yeah, you fucking would be. You'd suck at it. Don't ever try it." Bullshit. You've been fucking with me the entire time. You were pulling the wool over my eyes.
Well, at least you got some compliments from the founders of the Great Towers, and they took an interest in you.
That's fine. That's not my big takeaway. My big takeaway is not, maybe I can sell them the painting once it's finished, which let's be honest,
hope
I probably
you
never will
still
finish
can.
it. But the big takeaway here is you're a fucking devious master salesman. And you're devious because you try to pretend that you're not.
I am what I am.
And Popeye the Sailor Man.
But we still had a good day.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I'm not saying it was anything else.
At least we broke the cabin fever.
So, did the palette end up messing up the painting at all, or did they separate? Okay.
Dude, not only did everything wait for me to be in distance to catch it, but the palette, it did fly paint first, of course. But no, totally missed the painting. It just slapped onto the top of the palette rather than where it should have gone, which is in the middle. The wind just picked it up and threw it right onto the top of the easel and threw everything right at me. Exactly where I was, 6 feet away from everything, walking back. Yeah, it was pretty weird.
Did you do a Dr. Gonzo? Man, did you see what God just did to us?
No, that's pretty much what I was thinking, though. Yeah.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. Yeah. Well, one of the people who, one of the Heritage members that came up to me to talk to me about the painting, excuse me, picking my nose on camera, did make a point to tell me the name of the person who runs the gift shop. So I think she was trying to nudge me in the direction like, hey, if you're smart, you'll talk to the dude in the gift shop and maybe license, that's what I think she was going after. She didn't directly say it, but might be a little easier on the foundation to license the painting through the gift shop than to buy it outright. So I don't know. We'll see.
You could put a few paintings in the gift shop, let them take on a consignment.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I could do prints on consignment. Sure. That's fine. Anyway, I'm not really interested in doing more artwork of a gentleman that I found out was voted into 2 eugenics delegations in the 1910s and the 1920s. It's not really somebody that I feel comfortable giving all that praise to, but
the towers are gray, like his morals.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is, back then, everybody who was rich and had an intellectual bent was into eugenics.
Oh, so no, yeah, it's the same thing with like cosmology became really big during that time period, and there were a lot of things that were like just circling their way through affluent society for whatever reason.
Well, Talking Head, why don't you explain what eugenics is real quick? Because a lot of folks probably don't have any idea.
Really? You think people don't know what eugenics is? So eugenics is, basically what Hitler was trying to do. Actually, you know who was a product of eugenics? One of the singers of ABBA.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no, this is absolutely true. So one of the singers of ABBA, I forget which one of the female singers, is actually one of the Nazi
Hitler children?
babies.
Wow. Yeah. So Hitler was doing this really stratified breeding program in Nazi Germany where
he was taking SS soldiers and breeding them with what he considered like, good German women.
Yeah, so I mean his whole propaganda thing in Nazi Germany was not every German woman can find a husband, but every German woman can be a mother. So that was what he was saying. And then he got his SS soldiers, I believe, primarily to be the male stock to give these women babies. And the babies were taken care of by the institution that he set up, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the mothers could visit and everything, but they were primarily taken care of by the institution. Because he wanted to educate them.
Essentially wards of the state, yeah.
Yeah. So go ahead with eugenics.
But yeah, so eugenics is just, the quote-unquote science of breeding people to get certain physiological outcomes. So that's why Hitler was really big into it, just because, master race and all that.
Yeah, master race and all that. And the funny thing is, Hitler got most of his ideas about eugenics from America. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe wasn't Henry Ford like big into the concept of eugenics at the time?
Well, anybody who was around in the late 19th to the early 20th century, right up until World War II, who had any money or intellectual bent was into eugenics. So anybody. So I was not surprised when I was reading about Mr. Pinchot, who, you know, was the founder of the society and whatever that I was doing our show at.
Really didn't start getting frowned upon until, like, you know, we
World War
realized,
II.
like, yeah, it was like, oh, so that's where that naturally concludes, doesn't it? Okay, yeah, that's probably not great.
Yeah, when human beings who have money and influence and too much time on their hands to think about shit decide that they can do a better job at something as complex as breeding than Mother Nature can do, that's inevitably where that ends. Yeah, it ends in a fucking genocidal holocaust. And then so two big things happened after World War II in America. So before that, for almost a century, eugenics, which was popularly called sexual hygiene in America, was very, very popular. And this is where Planned Parenthood got its start and all that good stuff. And so this was a huge thing. And then after World War II, that's a big no-no. And also, nobody was naming their kids Adolf any longer. So that was
it became the Charlie Chaplin mustache also kind of went out of vogue.
Yeah, that really went out of style. There was a lot of people that had that little mustache that looks like a shadow under your nose. And all of a sudden after World War II, not so much. Yeah, go figure. So... So I wasn't like overly overwrought when I found this out. I was like, of course he was. But, you know, it's like there's one sentence. This guy's got a Wikipedia page that's like, you know, a book, you know, with all the shit that he did. He was the governor of Pennsylvania. He started the Forestry Service. He was good friends with Teddy Roosevelt. It's exactly one sentence. He was a delegate to the National Eugenics Convention in Washington, D.C., and it gives 2 dates. I think it's 1915 and 1928. One sentence. That's it. So, yeah.
But it says what?
Nothing to see here. So,
everything.
So I mean, you know, I think she was nudging me to try to do like a licensing deal with their gift shop, but honestly, I'm not really super fascinated with just doing portraits of Pinchot and making a few shekels off of it, you know.
I mean, she might have just been suggesting that once the painting was done, you like get some prints set up or whatever. You know, not necessarily do commissioned art, but I mean, hey, if they'll commission art,
well, either way, like, yeah, I like if I finish that one painting, I'll do that. But
yeah, because I could see them like selling postcards of that or something for like $5, you know.
Yeah, and I could do that. I'll do that with like licensing. We'll do a consignment deal. I don't give a shit. But you know, I'm not doing any more Pinchot artwork. It's not that interesting to me.
No, I gotcha.
But so there is something that's very fun that I did want to bring up here that I thought would be really cool. So there's this YouTube channel that's way more popular than ours that got taken off the internet, actually, by this gentleman who calls himself Wooden Nickels. Talking Head, are you familiar with this?
Oh, I mean, in all honesty, the name feels like it's familiar, so maybe somebody referenced some kind of, you know, whatever in something else that I watched, but yeah, I'm not super familiar.
Okay, so I found this funny. So we were doing, I was working with the Great White Huntress to do puppets for a while. And then she kind of ticked me off, so I'm not helping her out with that anymore. But, you know, so the last commission that she got was for a guy who runs a YouTube channel, and he wanted the puppets for his YouTube channel. And his
is this the thing that you showed me? That like he was like beefing with some other YouTube creator or something like that?
Oh, he has a lot of beefs. Like, that's all he does is troll other YouTube creators that have, like, alternative history theories about... So, and I forget what it's called. I fucking forget what it's called. God damn it. But yeah, he has, like, these people think that, they go back to, like, mid-19th century architecture. Okay? And they're like, that's so much better than anything that we do now. Like, you look at all the flourishes, the artistic nature of it, the craftsmanship... And these, I guess this is what it is. I haven't looked too closely into it. But these assholes think that these are remnants from a previous civilization that we built on top of once we came to the New World, because we don't produce buildings that look like this anymore.
So, I mean, part of the craftsmanship thing and everything I get. I mean,
do you?
A taste of change. No, hear me out. So I don't agree with what they're saying, that it's a previous civilization or whatever. It's like, but what I'm saying is I'll agree with them that there are certain things that we've let slide as far as A, taste of change, but B, everybody's also trying to make things cheaper and more easily producible. So it's like, yeah.
Well, that's exactly what it is. Dadoy.
Yeah.
But these people are using the 19th century aesthetic as evidence of, like, some sort of pre-Diluvian
civilization.
Yeah, that we, like, we just found the ruins of when we came here, and then we, like, built on top of, I guess, and that's why everything back then looked fucking awesome.
That's just silly. But you know what? Weird side tangent. Like, I saw a thing that was espousing that the reason why they don't make them like they used to is actually that we're using inferior wood these days because we, don't have super old trees to cut down for wood because we have to keep replanting the stuff that we're using.
Really? Why would old trees be better?
So I saw a side-by-side picture. I didn't look into it too hard, but it's like if you look at the way the actual, like, wood grain goes, it's like it's a lot tighter in, like, an old piece of wood from, like, the late 1800s. Whereas it's a lot, like, looser and pulpier looking in a cross-section of a newer piece of wood.
That's really interesting. Do they think that that's because our soil is becoming so nutrient deficient? Maybe that's what it is?
No, I think that the implication was that because we have to try to make wood more renewable because we use so much of it, we're using, like, different kinds of trees that get larger over shorter periods of time so that we can have somewhat renewable wood harvesting.
Yeah, but I mean, there's only so many different types of wood. I mean, we got spruce, we got pine, we got oak. I mean, what's...
Oh yeah, I don't know if there's any truth to it. I just saw, like, somebody espousing this and it just made me go,
Anyway. Yeah, so I don't know, man. I mean, as far as I looked into it, which is to say, not a lot, I'm not going to waste a shitload of time on this, but it is really funny. Yeah, so these guys are looking at all these flourishes and the decorative nature of the architecture from the 19th century and saying, because we don't do this anymore, we are incapable of it, and this is obviously a previous civilization that was here before us.
Incapable of it. It's not the fucking pyramids. Relax, guys.
So anyway, most of the beef that Wooden Nickels has with other people on YouTube is people who are espousing this theory.
So why did he get kicked off then? What did he do that got him banned?
Well, I don't know exactly what he did that got him banned, to be honest with you. I know that he was... I know that from the video that we're about to watch, I'm assuming that he's not a fan of the wonderful, outstanding Pfizer vaccine that came out for COVID that I love, that I have gotten 80,000 boosters for at this point. I think he's not a fan of that, and that may be why his channel got taken down, but he is on Instagram, so a couple of the last commissions, the puppet commissions that we did, are featured in this video, and this is really fun video, so I figured, like, I'd play this and we can watch it real quick, and I got somewhere I'm gonna go from there.
Okay.
All right. Whoops. Oh, good. All right, let's check this out.
Hello, my name is Dr. Schnack. I am Dr. Fauci's replacement. That's correct. Dr. Fauci is gone. The skin has been shed, and he is no more. I will be the new pandemic czar for the Trump administration, and believe me, there will be more pandemics coming. A quick update regarding COVID vaccinations. You should be on your 19th booster. That does not include the initial 2 vaccinations, so 21 shots are needed in order to be considered up to date at this point. If you are not up to date, please do not spend any time around family or friends this summer. And remember, if you're still testing positive for COVID-19 with all 21 vaccinations, it is not that the vaccine is not working. It is all the anti-vaxxers' fault. So just keep getting the shots, yes? Very good.
Can you believe this piece of shit? Telling you that you gotta have 21 vaccinations just to be considered fucking normal? This here's what Big Pharma and the FDA don't want you to know. The trick to staying healthy is drinking your own urine. I've been drinking 6 glasses of my own piss a day for over a decade, and I'm as healthy as a young calf.
I wonder why people are so yellow.
It's even better when you let it ferment, just like wine. Let it sit out for 5 or 6 years, and then it comes real packed with a punch. Oh. Drinking pee cures cancer, it cures AIDS, Lyme disease, you name it. If you drink it, it cures it. Are you okay? I'm being hit by directed energy weapons for telling too much truth.
And you're absolutely positive this is a result of directed energy weapons? You've exhausted all other options?
It's definitely DEWs. They target me daily. My spleen.
Have you tried fasting from drinking your own urine?
I ain't listening to you. You probably got all 21 COVID shots.
No, I've actually gotten 0. I'm just thinking that there's got to be a middle ground between COVID vaccinations and drinking urine for optimum health.
Drinking your own piss is ancient wisdom passed down from the Tartarians from the Great Mudflood Reset.
Sure.
They're really getting me good today. This is how I know I'm over the target. Fuck my spleen.
Okay, well, I'm just gonna gracefully bow out of this situation, but hey, I wish you the best of luck on your health journey or whatever's taking place here.
Dude, tell me that wasn't a great video. I love this guy.
Oh, no, yeah, definitely chuckle worthy. Sorry. Back has a kink in it. Oh, there you go.
Good contribution, Diane. Yeah, so anyway, I was checking that shit out, and I was like, this guy's really funny. I'm so happy that we could involve our way in that in any way, just by making the puppets. That's awesome. Because I don't think the Great White Huntress is going to continue taking commissions now that, I'm not here to do all the customer service work for her because she hates talking to people, apparently.
No, she's searching for the truth.
Yeah, exactly. So,
to my next point. That's time consuming. That is time consuming, let me tell you. That's why we don't bother. We don't fact check anything here.
No,
searching for the truth is a pain in the ass.
It's such a pain in the ass. Who wants to find out what's true? Who wants to hunt for the truth? I mean, who wants to do these things? Harry, do you want to hunt for the truth?
I know my truth, but anybody else has your own.
That's right. That's been my fucking point.
Believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I believe and have a happy day.
So I came across this video recently, which, we're gonna have to play. So the Great White Huntress, Talking Head, our maternal thing, our first apartment.
Our maternal thing.
Our first apartment. We didn't live there together. I think I moved out and then you moved right in after me, if I'm not mistaken. So she came up with her own YouTube video now. because I guess she wants to keep making puppets, and she saw what Wooden Nickels did. She's like, that's a great idea. I can do that. I can do that. Well, let's find out if she can.
We're not going to watch all 12 minutes of this, are we?
Are you opposed?
It drags on a bit, but go on.
Does it? No, dude, this is so cringe. I don't know how much I can put up with.
Hey man, you're late. Hanacha, you're late.
Oh no! Okay, I'm coming.
So first of all,
I do like the clicky sound effects.
The clicky sound effects are great. Who the fuck was that in the background? She's not married. She does not have a boyfriend. She does not live with anybody except 3, maybe now 4 fur babies. I'm not sure what that number has gotten to.
3.
Is it 3? Is it still 3?
3.
Are you sure? When's the last time you talked to her?
Couple weeks ago.
It could be 4 by now. Actually, if it's 2 weeks, it could be 5.
Then how could she feed 5 dogs and not feed herself?
So who the fuck is that in the background? I don't know, man. So apparently she has another boy toy now. I think I know who this is too. There's like some guy who's I think he's crippled. I don't remember what his problem is. I'm sorry, handy-capable. And probably came over to visit and help her make a video. I think he lives in Colorado or some shit. So she's roping other people into this now too. So, yeah.
No, you know, maybe you could just pay somebody on Fiverr to do a quick voice line if they've got an audio set up.
Yeah, I'm sure she did that.
I'm Hanacha the Huntress, and welcome to my channel. And you might be thinking, wait a minute, you're a puppet. Yeah, I'm a puppet.
I wasn't thinking that. That's exactly what she looks like. I mean, she got it down. The green skin, the big hooked nose. I mean, Wicked Witch of the West, I think that's pretty accurate. I didn't know it was a puppet until she pointed it out.
Maybe she's in the costume.
I don't think that... I think that looks just like her, man. I don't know. She's very talented. I thought it was very accurate.
I'll bet you thought that this was going to be a hunting channel. Guess what? Snag.
So I'm guessing she's using a video editing software that puts that watermark at the bottom of everything.
Yes, because it's free. That's absolutely correct. Yeah. I think it's on her phone. Okay. Yeah. And okay. I think that what happened here is she finally figured out how to change backgrounds, and she saw what Wooden Nickels did, and she was like, I can do that too. And she sat down. She probably had that guy over already who's like, I don't know, helping her ride her dogs around. And because I know they're not walking them because he's handy-capable and she essentially is. So they probably just ride them around the block. So I think he was already there. And then he like helped her figure out how to change the background.
Snag. This is not a hunting channel. Wait a minute. This is a hunting channel.
It's so cringe.
We're not hunting animals. And we are on a specific hunt. Where are we hunting?
Where are we hunting?
What are we hunting?
Ooh.
I thought the question where was better.
The truth.
Yeah. We're hunting for the truth.
Yeah.
Wow.
Where are we hunting for the truth? And what subject? From everywhere.
Tell us, Hanacha. Preach it, sister.
From politics.
Oh.
Anything inside my house. From sewing projects.
There's truth inside her house.
You name it.
Is there?
The absolute truth. I don't want to be fed lies. I don't want to be fed, well, it might have happened this way. No.
She deals only in absolutes on Hanacha the Huntress.
Yes. Hanicha the Huntress is not willing to have a conversation. She doesn't want to hear speculation. She wants only the truth. Only the truth. And this is why...
Unvarnished, unadulterated.
And this is why she has decided that her entire life, which, by the way, she spent most of the time proselytizing about how right she was. Everybody else is a sinner and going to hell, and only she knows the truth. Unless she did something that was against the Bible, because then God wants me to be happy. But when anybody else breaks the Bible, she's going to tell them what the truth is. And if they don't do what she says, they're going to hell because she knows the absolute truth. But then she found out within the last 10 years or so that she was fucking wrong about everything. And now she's a Messianic Jew. Now those are the only people that are going to heaven. So what she wants, I'm assuming, because she already knows the truth, is she wants a feedback loop of people that agree with that very niche belief structure.
Maybe she's just trying to make penance for all the people who she misled in her youth that are now going to hell because of her actions.
So many people, dude. So many people.
She has sent nations to hell.
Well, thankfully, not so many people listen to her. But a few people did, I guess.
They are legion. But yeah, God wants you to be happy. I think that, what is that? Revelations like 26:30 or something, like right between like fucking breaking the seventh seal and like the lion eating the lamb or whatever.
It's either, now I'm not a big Bible guy, and I've expressed that before. I think it's either there in Revelation or it's in the book of Hanicha, which is not included in the proper Christian text.
Right.
The Christians consider the book of Hanicha to be an apocryphal text. But when you're Jewish, they do have the book of Hanicha.
Yes.
And that does say, yeah, the book of Hanicha does say God wants me to be happy. So, sin for thee, not for me, sort of thing. Yeah.
I think she needs a job in government.
well, dude, she's looking for the truth in politics too. So I mean, hit her up. Hit her up. But it can't be your opinion. It's gotta be absolute truth.
Exactly. There's no wiggle room in government about how the rules don't apply to them and only us.
No, there's no wiggle room in that at all. I mean, the rules obviously only apply to us. I mean, Epstein's Island. There you go. Yeah. So I'm really happy for her. And I think Hanicha, you're doing such a fantastic job with your channel. I mean, I want to show the whole video because it was so engaging and everything. But frankly, we just don't have the time.
And also, we don't want to get a copyright strike,
Do you think she's actually copywriting them?
I mean, just posting it on YouTube is technically copywriting it.
Oh, no, there's a box you can check that says it's free use. That's what we do all the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that Wooden Nichols, since he's not on YouTube, we're not going to get, caught for that. I know he doesn't care. He's a cool guy. But I think it would be really funny if she posted shit to YouTube and was like, no, I don't want anybody else using my content.
This is the truth. You can't have the truth without paying for it.
Can you imagine her with her green skin and her big nose? You need me on that wall. You can't handle the truth. Oh, Messianic Jew. She does the Seder.
Hanicha, the festival of felt.
She does the Seder every fucking Saturday, dude. Every Saturday. She had it wrong her whole life, but now she has it right. Now she has it.
Just glad she figured it out before the end of days, which, I think this, Tuesday? According to her.
Yeah, no, it could be as early as tomorrow. It could be Monday. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, today's Mother's Day. So happy Mother's Day, Hanicha.
Happy Mother's Day.
I think you're doing a great job, and congratulations on, finally seeking the truth, but making sure that whatever truth you're seeking conforms 1000% to exactly what you already I'm not going to say believe, because it's true. I wish you the best of luck in that, and hopefully eventually you do build up that echo chamber for your own truth that you seem to so long to have. I hope that works out for you. Good job.
So are we going to do any kind of crossover with Hanacha the Huntress, since part of what she was espousing that she was going to do is say the truth about things in her house? Can we do like a crossover episode, have her say the truth about some things that are over in Harry's bunker? Because I'm assuming the stuff in his bunker is probably more interesting than the stuff in her house.
What do you think, Harry? Do you want to do like a crossover episode where we seek the truth with things in the bunker?
There's so much truth that she believes in that let her believe it.
Yeah.
Remember, when her Savior asked her, bring my enemies in front of me and slay them, so much for your loving God, bring my enemies before me.
So Talking Head, I don't know if you know about this, but there's actually a verse in the New Testament where Jesus says, "And for those that did not want me to be king over them, bring them before me and kill them in front of me." The word of our Lord. Amen. So.
No, you had to have some kind of continuity between the Old and New Testaments. You gotta bring some of that flavor, otherwise it's a different dish.
Yeah. It just seems like a completely different book.
Well,
just a little, it's interesting.
It's just the words that are hidden there that people pass over.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah. But there's I mean, if you look it up online, there's so many pastoral apologetics for that verse. Like they try their best to explain it away. They really do.
There's actually there's a really good series on YouTube. Trying to remember what it's called. It's called Surrounded. And so they'll take like one expert on a subject and then surround them with like 20 people who are of the opposite opinion. And they'll have like this debate where the expert always stays in the chair. And what happens is the people on the outside, like the 25 people on the outside, will like have a red flag. And if more than 50% of the group holds up a red flag, whoever's arguing against the expert gets kicked for the next person.
Okay.
So it's actually an interesting concept, but I bring it up because there was one where it was a Christian or an atheist versus 25 Christians, and ooh man, he just tore them apart on scripture.
So this was an atheist that actually knows scripture?
Oh yeah. Like so the way it works is whoever is in like the hot seat who's surrounded, like they'll pick the topics, like they'll pick what their argument is. And then people have to like argue against them on it, so they kind of get to set the stage for what it is that they're arguing. And it's
honestly, it sounds like a really good idea for a show.
Yeah, it was. In all honesty, it's a lot of fun to watch some of them. Some of them not so much. Like they'll get into like really like weird argumentative things because obviously you're having a bunch of people who are contrary to what you're there to espouse. So it's like people's emotions and weirdness gets wrapped up in certain episodes of it, but no, most of them are pretty interesting.
Yeah, I'm assuming it does.
Yeah, there's one where it was like a liberal versus like 25 MAGA people, and that just got out of fucking control.
Oh, I'll bet you were. My God, I can't even imagine what you were doing. How many hands do you need to masturbate that hard while you're watching that? Jesus Christ!
Oh no! In all honesty,
how do you get the dildo in and out of your butt while you're still smelling your own farts? I mean, you must have been so self-congratulatory watching that. I can't even imagine.
I wasn't. No, it actually made it really obnoxious and difficult to watch because they were being so off the wall that it was just like, okay, these people are just screaming and I don't even know what's going on anymore. It was actually one of the less interesting episodes to watch. Just because everybody started going off the rails so much.
That's a shame. Hey, send me a link to that though. I'll check out a couple of those episodes.
Yeah,
sounds interesting.
I'll send you a link to the one with the atheist because that one was particularly good because he's a very like gently spoken British man.
Yeah, and as long as you keep your energy down, people tend to do the same thing to you, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, you know, people got to lean in to hear what you're saying, and they bring their energy down, you know? Yeah. So this liberal guy couldn't keep his energy down, or what?
Yeah, so it's a guy named Destiny who is like, that's his gamer handle because he actually started off on I think streaming games on Twitch and stuff like that, but he's kind of become very political, and he gets pretty argumentative. So when people are like saying crazy things that don't fucking make sense, he kind of goes off the handle.
Yeah, who isn't political these days? Fucking
Sounds
boring.
like a Democratic meeting.
No, yeah, obviously.
Yeah, Democratic meeting with Trump trying to explain the Bible.
I love Trump trying to talk about how religious he is.
You know how many mistakes he made with the Bible?
Oh my God.
He misquoted it 90% of the time.
He doesn't even know what he's pretending to be. He's sitting there being interviewed. He's like, of course I believe in God. I believe in God. I've been Protestant. I've been Presbyterian my whole life. Like, dude, those are two different ones. Which one is you?
Yeah, which are you?
Yeah. He doesn't even know what he's pretending to be. He's just like, whatever you want me to be, I'm that thing. I've been it my whole life.
A waffle.
Since the day I was born.
Since the day I was born, I've been the thing that everybody is. What's that thing again? I forget the name. I have too much on my mind.
I was baptized popularitarian.
Populartarian. Yeah, pretty much. Oh my God. So anyway, the fact that I was thinking, now that Hanukkah is making her own, and you know that it's just going to turn into a channel about her particular political beliefs, but mostly it's going to be about Messianic Judaism. And here's why all you Christians are wrong, which honestly not the best way to get followers. Maybe don't take that route. I don't know. But so, you know that's what the channel's going to turn into. So I started doing a little exploration of Judaism because I want to know where my mommy is coming from. You know, and I consider myself a fairly open-minded person. You know, you gotta be open-minded to start involving yourself in the occult at a certain point, because it's so, you know, it's fucking insane. And everybody tells me I'm insane. And they're right. And I'm open-minded to the fact that I'm insane. So most people are too fucking close-minded to consider that they might be fucking insane. Okay? I have the strength of character to look at myself and go, oh, fuck, they're right. God damn it.
God damn it, I'm batshit.
I am fucking batshit, woo-woo batshit. Totally woo-woo batshit. So yeah.
You threw the guilt out. You are no longer guilty of sin. I am what I am, so therefore I have no sin.
No, that's true. I am perfect, but I am also crazy. You can be both of those things at the same time.
What you have to do is you have to have the Passover dinner or the Seder or whatever. You have to have that every Saturday. And you have to take a lamb's blood and you need to paint it over your doorway to let to let the spirit of the false truth pass over you. That's what it's all about. So that only the real truth gets.
No, I am
like a pickled apple shit or whatever fucking weird stems and bushes and berries and unleavened bread that they eat during that thing.
Yeah. No, I'm picking up what you're laying down. I'm definitely, and I did find out a little bit about all that stuff, specifically the matzah. So I got some clips here I'm going to share with you guys because I wanted to do a little research in the Judaism so I can see where she's coming from. And Harry was kind enough to point out an interview that we're going to, I got a few clips from so that we can discuss it. Between, who's it? Hang on. I should have been prepared. Between Pastor James Wickstrom and Rabbi Abraham Finkelstein. Hang on, let me look at this. Oh, shit. I don't have enough open. All right, that's okay. Back to the beginning. All right. So, yeah, I'm curious. I wanted to be a good son. I want to figure out where she's coming from. So I figured I watched this interview, and it was edifying. It was clarifying. I learned a lot. And aside from the fact that he doesn't believe in Jesus, I mean, Harry told me that this is exactly what the Jewish religion is all about. Aside from the fact that this guy is a pure Jew, he's not a Messianic Jew. These are all the things that Hanukkah now believes in, right?
Right.
Okay. All right. So let's go through this interview here. We're gonna take a quick break. I need to pack a pack of cigarettes, and that's annoying in the mic. So. Forgot to do this first.
Yeah, I think it's actually being filtered out. At least it is on my end on Discord.
Really? You can't hear it?
Nah, yeah.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I've heard it before when I've done it. When I'm
on
podcasts. So.
Well, yeah, and particularly if you're like talking while it's going on, it's probably going to catch parts of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't really know how all those fucking filters and shit you set up. I don't really understand how they work. So,
I don't know anything about this. Chris, you need to go hunt the truth. Why aren't you hunting truth?
Yeah, exactly. I don't have an area of expertise at all, but this is farther away from what would be considered expertise than shit that I do now. Let's say that.
Gotta hunt the truth.
So according to the Bible and the story of Noah, we're all part of the Jewish family because Noah and his 3 sons and his wives created the whole human race.
No! Not unless you believe what they believe in.
Right.
Are you the chosen people? Also, no, because they have a particular genetic stock. They're a tribe that you don't have, even though the Noah thing. Fuck the Noah thing. No, fuck the Noah thing. And rabbis have explained that, I'm sure. No, you might. Your Jewish friend says that you're Jewish. I forgot about that.
How does he know that? I'm circumcised. That's a sign. That's the mark of the Jew, being circumcised.
Harry, how does she know you're circumcised?
There's only one way to know that.
Is that how you're like, you're a Jewish broad, huh? Yeah, I'm Jewish too. And she's like, are you? And you go, there's only one way to find out. That's how the date goes.
You gotta see if they clipped off the calamari.
Jesus Christ. He's been waiting to dump that line like the whole time. It's great because he said that to me before we started, and I was like, dude, you gotta remember to say that. All right. So I can keep it on this screen. There's nothing to look at. Here we go.
Bob, who covered for me last week. We're going to have a very, very interesting program tonight. I'm sure you're going to find it that way. I have a guest by the name of Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein. He's off the east coast of the United States, who's going to be joining me tonight. And we're going to be talking about authenticity of things in the world. Rabbi A.B. Finkelstein, as I said, a rabbi off the east coast of the United States. Are you there with me tonight?
Shalom, I am here.
Say, listen, I'm filling in here for Pastor Bob tonight, and I know we've never met, but I do have some very interesting questions for you. I think questions that I want to give you the opportunity to answer to, because there's a lot of rumors and conjecture that's taking place across this country relating to the Jewish population, okay?
Okay.
Now, you see, as being off the synagogue and a teacher of the Jewish race, because you are a race, aren't you?
Well, some say we're a race, some say we're a religion.
Yeah, well, what do you say?
We're a little of each.
I can imagine, yeah. Now, I want to get into some hard topic here right away here. You're a very pronounced person among your own people, and of course you're very aware that I don't like you or your race, okay? I'm sure you're aware of this, right?
Wait, what are we listening to?
You see, there's a big topic.
I'm sorry, what was that, talking head?
Are we listening to like an anti-Semitic guy interview a Jewish guy?
No.
Well, I think
He just
that's
said,
actually,
I don't like your race.
Yeah, I think that's fair to say, Harry. Harry said no, but Harry, I think that's fair to say because Pastor James Wickstrom does say several times in the interview that he doesn't like Jewish people. He does say that.
Point is, the Jewish people have a power that they exercise, and they think they're the chosen people.
Okay, well, we can
That's a
listen.
fact.
We can get into that, but let's
a
both agree on something here that Pastor James Wickstrom, he doesn't like the Jewish people. He says it several times in the interview.
Right.
Okay, all right. Just making sure we're all on the same page.
But you gotta listen and why he says that. Well, according to
Well, we're gonna watch. We're not there yet. That's okay.
Topic that's going around on this 6 million Holocaust that took place during World War II of the Jews at Buchenwald, Auschwitz, and different places. A lot of information has come out here, Rabbi Finkelstein, that it's all myth and it's all conjecture. Could I have your view on this?
Well, everybody knows that the Jews never told a lie in the history of the world. However, whether it's 6 million or 600,000 or 60,000, it's just a number.
Oh, it's just a number, but
Now, he makes an interesting point. Jewish people died. They were singled out. Why is everybody getting so wrapped up with the number? Why does it matter?
because maybe they want to make it seem greater than it is. But let's go back to 1917 with the Armenians that were killed during World War One, and there was like 3 million of them killed in Greece. But it's the power play that's taking place. Now, what is a real Jew? You got 6 different types of Jewish person. So therefore, what is the true Jew? Is he a Zionist? Is he an Israelite? Is he a Reformed Jew? Or is he a Messianic Jew? The question is, they broke up their religion like the Protestants do, between the Catholics, the Protestant Presbyterians, the Puritans. They all picked and choose what they wanted out of their book.
Yeah.
And they wanted to be special.
Well, you have to pick and choose what you want out of those books because they're highly contradictory. Quick question. At any point during this interview, does something about McDonald's or cannibalism come up?
I didn't know you watched ahead, so let's
I
let
didn't.
that.
I immediately smelled bullshit and went to look this up. This guy is not a fucking rabbi. This is a weird anti.
How dare you, sir? What the fuck? What are you, an anti-Semite? What are you talking about?
No, I'm anti sitting there and listening to bullshit like this.
What the fuck, dude? He's just expressing himself.
His opinion.
It's his
not opinion. It's a white supremacist talking to a fake rabbi.
A fake rabbi, you say? Fake.
According to what I'm looking up, Abraham Finkelstein is not really a rabbi, and I should have guessed from the name Finkelstein.
What the fuck? There's a lot of Finkelsteins. How dare you? So, Jesus, that's the most racist thing you've ever said on this podcast. The name sounds too Jewy? Where are you going?
I'm just saying that from what I'm reading, this is fake. So now that I know that, I will approach it as being fake propaganda against Jews that you're giving oxygen.
Dude, I think you're going to get us demonetized. And I want to say to YouTube right now, I do not endorse this gentleman's talking head number 6. I do not endorse his opinion or what he is saying. If I want to learn about Judaism, I think that we should go to a Jewish source. And frankly, if he disagrees with what I think about Judaism, then I am going to silence myself and allow him to educate me. Just like I would with anybody of any different culture or belief or race. I need to shut up and allow them to explain it to me. I mean, that's what we have to do.
You're allowing a white supremacist to explain Judaism to you, so just for context, but go on.
Oh, for context, James Wickstrom is, I think he is a racialist. Yeah, I mean, he comes across that way in the interview. But I'm not endorsing anything that he says. I'm just trying to learn about the tradition that our mother is so enamored with.
But anyway, go on. Play the video of a guy talking to somebody who isn't a rabbi. Go ahead.
Well, I think there's another point here that Wickstrom brings up, but Finkelstein has a really good rebut.
History of the world. However, whether it's 6 million or 600,000 or 60,000, it's just a number.
Right.
Oh, it's just a number, but the thing that I want to get to you at is that, the 1934 World Encyclopedia stated that there was only 3.5 million Jews in all of Europe. How did 3.5 million Jews populate themselves to 6 million? This is the question I'd like answered.
Well, it's certainly a good question, there's no doubt about it. But the number, numbers, what can I say about numbers? The important thing is that Jews have always been persecuted all throughout the history of the world forever and still are.
Well,
that's the important thing. That's the takeaway. And that's what I was trying to get at before you had to go on your racist rant, Talking Head. The takeaway is that they're a persecuted people. The numbers, and don't get mixed up in all of that. I mean, you guys see his point, right? I mean, it makes sense.
Anyway.
Okay, I thought he had a good point. Listen, I just want to understand. Let's see. What was... I think it was about here. Yeah, I had one too few clips. All right, here we go.
Well, it's a banking institution, that's for sure.
You see, the thing that I don't like about this is that the Jews never knew what hard work was, and they never had. And besides, this is the nice part about it. You Jews are just Christ murderers anyway.
Oh, my goodness.
Well, that's true. We did murder him, but he was Jewish, too.
Oh, no, he was Almighty Yahweh, God in the flesh body. That's the problem you got.
Well, we tell all the Goyim that they worship a Jew and they believe it, so what's the difference?
And now that you brought up the Goyim, let's talk about that. In other words, the Goyim, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you will. Rabbi Finkelstein, a Goyim is any person who isn't a Jew. A Goyim is classified as cattle or an animal. Is this correct?
Yes.
Well, they are cattle, because we're the chosen people.
Well, yeah, you're chosen for fertilizer. That's what you're chosen for.
Jesus Christ. I mean, dude. Okay, so Wickstrom obviously he's got an axe to grind. But so far, what this Finkelstein character is saying, I'm 100% behind. I mean, I don't see, the number, it's a fucking number, all right? The fact of the matter is, we were pointed out, we were segregated, they targeted us, and, that's what the complaint is about. And second of all, we did murder him. He was kind of a shit disturber. I don't disagree with that. I think Jesus was a shit disturber. And, hey, we murdered him. And whether or not he was Jewish, if he's the son of God or Jew, I think he was kind of both. That's what I think the point is. It doesn't really matter. What are you getting hung up on semantics for? I mean, what's the big deal? We're the chosen people. That's what it says in the book. All right. So, you're going to have to give us a little leeway here. I think he's making some good points. Nobody's got anything, huh?
No, I refuse to participate in this. This is kind of gross.
Here's the fact. Out of the book, the Talmud, it is a fact. It is written in the Talmud that they call anybody other than a Jew cattle.
It's in the Tama.
It's in the Tama.
Really?
Yes.
Talking Head, can you look that up real quick? Is that in the Tama?
I don't know if Talking Head would know it.
Well, he's looking it up on Google.
But I studied with some Jews. I sat down with some rabbis.
Yeah.
So therefore I have maybe a little more information than most. And you've seen I had the Tama here. 22 volumes of it. Cost $1,000 for the thing.
Well, that sounds like money well spent.
Well, yeah, it took me 8 years to go through it. But that it is a fact. They do call anybody other than a Jew cattle.
So which book is the book that's essentially the Old Testament, and which one is the books that are written by the rabbis?
Well,
because there's one that's like basically commentary.
Yeah, but the thing is, the Torah, which what your mother...
Okay, the Torah is the Old Testament,
foundation.
And the Talmud is the
Babylon,
their commentary,
right.
basically.
They were in Babylon for 400 years as captive slaves. And that's what the Talmud was. Jewish opinions. And that's for 400 years. But as far as the basic is called the Torah, which is the first 10 books of the Old Testament. And your mother got me into a class like that 12 years ago.
Okay.
And
did you learn a lot?
I learned some things.
Okay.
And that's why I end up buying the Tama for myself and checking it out. So therefore, I went a little past the Old Testament.
I see.
I went inside and got more inside information.
You got the real scoop.
I got the opinion of the Jewish rabbis that they really wrote it, and this is how they work with it.
Okay, so she thinks that she has the inside scoop,
right.
But really you do.
No, she had the basic 10 books.
Right.
I had the 22 volumes.
Oh, the volumes. Okay.
Volumes.
Right. And how much more complete are the volumes versus the books?
The volumes contain 400 years of writings from the rabbis.
Okay, and the books contain how many years?
And the Tama is the only true history when they were in Babylon.
Okay.
But the Old Testament is called the foundation from the Jewish religion.
Okay.
And that's what she caught on to, and she was trying to teach it. We started out with 10 people. We ended up with 3 in the end.
So why do you think so many people decided to drop the class?
Because I want to teach you how to bake. I got to give you the formula how to bake. All right? You try to I give you the formula, but you take a couple ingredients out. It's not the same, is it? That's the basic truth.
Okay.
You don't really get into it to get, here's the foundation. Well, how did we come with the foundation? Now you go into the Talmud, to the opinions of the rabbis and how they written history.
Okay.
That was 400 years of history.
Right.
So reading the opinions of the people that lived there give you the conclusions of how the book came out. And that's why the New Testament the way it is.
So it's kind of like reading the diaries about the Civil War. You're getting from the horse's mouth.
The battles.
Right.
Not just that there was a battle, the fact that you're reading what the soldiers wrote about the Civil War and the battles. And now you're getting details. It's like you find the actual seed that planted what it became.
Okay. All right, you're obviously very passionate about this, and you'll have plenty.
That was one part of my learning process.
I get it.
And that's when I met your mother, because up to that point, we didn't never actually met, but when she started this class, I'll take this class.
And she had the books, and you said, well, let me go get the
let
volumes.
Me go and get the information.
I'll get the volumes, and, we'll see what's what. Yeah, I get it. Hey, Talking Head, did you find out anything about the Goyim are chattel? Is there anything on Google about this?
Yes, it is completely incorrect. So there's a bizarre conspiracy theory running around that the word goy, often translated to Gentile, secretly means cow, and its plural form goyim means cattle. It is suspected to have something to do with the fact that mooing translates to goa in Hebrew, which sounds a bit like goyim, but it has a different root. The word goy literally means nation. The Israelites themselves are called a goy multiple times in the Bible. In fact, one of the most well-known verses is, "And I shall make you into a great goy, great nation," which is God's promise to Abraham before Abraham changed his name. If goy means cow, then that would mean God promised Abraham that he would turn him into a giant cow. Which I like that version of the Bible better.
That's more fun. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, I mean, basically, you know, so this guy, he has an opinion about the goy, that they're cattle, that they're to be used.
It's not a real Jewish person. You get that this is like a thing that they're doing. Anyway.
I don't know what you're talking about. First of all, I mean, just because he disagrees with you, he's not a real Jewish person. You really need to get over yourself, dude. Second of all, so I mean, that's the first thing that struck me that I like about this belief system. Is he was like, yo, you're all fucking cattle. Like, I feel the same way. I feel like I might be Jewish, but now you're telling me that's not true.
Yes, correct. Goyim does not mean cattle, sure.
All right, well, I'm turned off again. Fair enough. All right, well, let's see what the next thing he has to say is. I forget what I brought up. Jesus Christ. I thought I was getting pretty turned on here.
Dispersed nations, plural, the tribes of Jacob, who were surnamed Israel. Actually, the con game that you have brought on to this country and the world for many years, and it's been a good con. It's been a good con game. Is that you're allegedly God's chosen people?
We are God's chosen people. It's just that most Jews don't like to admit it, but our God is Lucifer.
See, right there, I'm back in the game. I'm back in the game. Make me Jewish. Sign me up. Where do I sign up? This sounds amazing. So, Harry, tell me that's in the Talmud. I mean, because you have the volumes.
Well, as far as the Talmud is concerned, there was supposed to be two sons. One was Yeshua, and the other one was Lucifer. Lucifer is the angel of light, which was the most powerful angel, and Jesus was Yeshua. And it sounds like a civil war to me. That's what it sounds like. But Lucifer...
Well, I'll tell you what, I think he brings that up later in the interview. Because what Rabbi Finkelstein says is after they destroy the white and the black races, their plan is to blast off into space to go fight God, and this time they're gonna win.
Well, I'd like to see that.
Yeah, so would I. So, Talking Head, is that something that's accurate in the Talmud, that their plan is they're going to destroy the black and the white races, they're going to take all the shekels, and then they're going to blast off into space to go fight God in the name of Lucifer and finally win that age-old battle? Can you find anything on Google about that?
Why would I bother looking that up? I'm not going to waste my time.
Because this is what the rabbi is telling me. I just want to make sure he's giving me accurate information. I mean, you know,
it's that's fine. Go through with the bit. I think it's a bad bit. I think it's something that like people might actually take seriously. I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
I remember when we used to do the Alex Jones bit all the time, people might have thought that you were actually inculcated with the spirit of Alex Jones when we did that. Yeah, you think we should make an apology video for those?
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, because I mean, we don't want to mislead anybody. It's definitely our responsibility to make sure people know what's true and false. That's not on them, that's on us, right?
I'll just you and Harry can do the rest of the podcast if you want. I don't care. I don't like being a part of this. It makes my skin crawl.
You guys are no fucking fun, man. Jesus Christ. I got Harry over here on my left giving me a fucking history lesson about the Talmud. And I didn't even get to the fucking McDonald's bit yet. And all of a sudden, you refuse to participate because this is making your skin crawl. Jesus Christ, you guys are just fucking fun.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm not fun. I got it.
Whatever.
Like, if you want to listen to it and make fun of it, I'm fine with listening to it and making fun of it. What else you guys want to
talk about?
You pretending like you believe in this is weird. I don't know.
Really? Me pretending that the Jews worship Lucifer and saying, I'm down, I'm on your side. That sounds great. I didn't know that. You don't see the fucking comedy in that?
No, I see the comedy in it. I don't know.
You're such a fucking buzzkill, dude. What happened to you?
Sorry.
You used to be fun.
I don't know. Yeah, I know. We used to have nice things.
There was a part of my head when I was thinking about doing this that said, I wonder if he's going to have a negative reaction to this. And then Harry walked in and he goes, what do you think your brother's going to say when we start playing the Finkelstein interview? And I said, I think he's going to fucking laugh. It's really not a big deal. I was obviously wrong. Holy shit.
No, apparently. I don't know.
All right.
And we all have our expertise in
Oh, shut up. Stop being a fucking diplomat, you and your volumes. I'm fucking done. No, you and your volumes and you and your this is making my skin crawl. I'm done with the both of you. You can have your volumes and you can have your crawly skin. All right? You guys fucking you go read your volumes. You have your crawly skin. I'm going to go fucking paint something. You know what? I'm going to paint Jews chopping up Gentile children and turning them into ground beef. I'm going to make a painting about that. And everybody will be like, oh my God, he actually thinks that. That's going to be great. All right, guys, anybody else want to say anything? Anybody else got a different topic of conversation since that went over so brilliantly?
Well, let's go back to the Great White Huntress. And when she said she's...
Wasn't that good of a bit? I was expecting Talking Head or you to join in, and you guys left me fucking hanging there. The video's cringe, and then I felt like me commenting on it was just becoming even more cringe because you guys are just fucking leaving me hanging over here talking to myself.
Let's go talk about the Great White Huntress. She was talking about her camping trips and how she's going to survive. She's working for the end.
Yeah, we could talk about why she has the name the Great White Huntress to start off with. Sure.
But the point is, she may have camped maybe in the fall and the summer. She hasn't camped in the wintertime.
I'm not sure that's true, but you might be right.
But camping experience is one thing, but surviving for all year round in the forest is a totally different ball game.
Yeah, it's kind of seems like it's the thing you don't want to do unless you have to, right?
I mean, I know how to do it. But you know what?
Well, I know you do. You have the volumes. She's only got the books.
I got the book and I did it. But my body's going to say, what are you fucking kidding? I'm going to give you arthritis. I'm going to make you feel cold.
Sounds like maybe you got the books and your body has the volumes.
Well, the thing is, I did it when I was young, but I can't do it anymore. And I got to admit it to myself. I am not equipped to go out in that forest and live for a whole year. I will not survive because my body's laughing at me.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to face that fact.
Mm-hmm.
I mean...
Have you tried drinking the blood of children?
Well, I can...
No, you're not allowed to make that joke if you won't let me do the bit. Fuck off.
All right.
Because that was the last one. It was the blood and the matzahs. I mean, that was we were going to go off on that. That was gonna be the last part of it. That was gonna be like the fucking crescendo of the opera that I orchestrated for this. So no, you can't make any drinking baby blood jokes. You're not entitled. Yeah.
You know, if you wanted to do that whole bit, if I had known where you were going with it, you know what honestly scared me? And hey, this is shitty on my part. I thought that you thought that was a real interview.
That's your fucking problem with everything in the media nowadays, talking head, is that you think whatever anybody says on the internet, everybody else is going to believe, and you're the only person smart enough to ferret out if something is being said in a comedic fashion. And that's where all the fucking censorship has been coming from. Do you see that?
Hey, your delivery was just super dry, man. Usually I can read you relatively well. I thought that you were like...
It was super dry. Really?
I saw at the beginning. Before I sat there and started being like, this sounds crazy. Like, the video itself sounds crazy, you know? But no, initially I thought that you were sitting there like I was like, wait, what? What is going on here? I was confused, and I'm like, wait.
No, hey, listen. No, I mean, what we should do, we should delete this channel, and we should just both join Hanich's channel, because she's after truth. She's hunting for the truth. That's our responsibility. That's our obligation as being American human beings. I know you don't believe in
the truth. It's fine.
But we have to go do that. I mean, fuck satire. I mean, I don't even know what that is. You're just lying. What's the difference? You're just lying.
Sorry for overreacting. Like I said, when you started off, I thought that you actually thought that was a dude talking to a rabbi. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Well, you have such a fucking low opinion of me that you thought I watched that interview and I was convinced that was a real rabbi. I mean, this has nothing to do with your fucking politics at this point. This is your opinion of me. Is that I watched that and I thought that was a real rabbi with the McDonald's shit. With the we worship Lucifer and we want to blast off into space so we can fight God, wherever the fuck that is. Well, what planet is he on? That's what you think.
No, So to clarify, lesson learned, the problem wasn't that I sat there and thought that initially. The problem is that I didn't let my opinion change because I got anchored in. So I'll give you that. But no, initially before he was sounding like saying batshit stuff, you got to remember, I had only listened to a couple of seconds of it. And I was like, wait, this sounds fake.
But you know that if I have clips set up, which I said several times, and you got to see the browser before we started doing the podcast, you know that I watched the whole thing.
I don't necessarily know that, but I didn't hear it go crazy yet when I sat there and said, wait a minute, this is propaganda.
How can I set up clips if I don't watch the whole thing?
I gotcha.
Let's talk about...
I mean, you want to talk about logic. I mean, logical, you know... I mean, how can I set up clips if I don't watch the whole thing? And you think that I saw a rabbi talk about feeding Goyim children to the Goyim in their McDonald's hamburgers.
I hadn't heard him say that yet.
Oh my God, the Hat Man believes this is true. I have to save him from himself and from persuading other people. This is terrible. And you're going to save all of us. Thank you so much. Thank you. You're the fucking guy on the wall, man. We need you on the wall because we can't handle the truth.
Let's talk about truth.
Sorry, I should have let it play out further.
Fuck you.
Let's talk about truth. What's happening today?
No, I don't want to. What are we going to talk about that's happening today? What do you want to talk about? The Orange Man? I'm so fucking sick of that.
No. Let's talk about the information coming out about the JFK killing, the Kennedy killing.
All right, yeah.
And some of the shit that went on during the war.
Yeah, they found nothing.
And all the operations that were hidden for 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Who was involved? Now, is there any truth in it?
What? I didn't hear anything, so what?
What they're doing is they're bringing out 50-year-old history that they're proving that Oswald wasn't the lone gunman.
No, I didn't hear anything about that.
That was conspiracies.
No, but they released all those documents and it gave us nothing new.
Now, you saw a thing about the mob and the politicians and Lucky Luciano and the drug trade and World War II.
Yeah, we just watched a Y-Files episode on that. I'm not just going to copy Y-Files.
Luciano kept the port safe for the American government.
Yeah, most people know that the mafia helped the CIA with that.
The CIA needed money. They had the cocaine, and they were dealing with revolutions. Now, is there any truth behind that? Why did it take 50, 60 years to find this out? Because all the people are dead.
Yeah, freedom of information did a lot for that.
Yeah,
I don't really know where that came from.
Information that was hidden, that's slowly leaking out. But the people are dead now, so they can't do nothing with them. 100 years from now, what is the truth going to be coming about Biden and all the rest of the elections that went on?
I don't know. Let's speculate. What do you think is all the truth that's going to be coming out about Biden 50 years from now?
I don't know.
We'll make a bet. We'll see if you're right.
I don't really know what reaction to the country's going to be, but people that are sleeping, they're going to just go away and they're going to know nothing. But sleeping people don't think. Anybody who thinks looks behind the scene, like the Wizard of Oz when the Toto pulled the curtain behind and showed the wizard. So who are going to be our wizards for 100 years from now?
Well, I think the Talking Head's going to be the wizard. He's going to show us the truth.
Oh, really?
It might be Hana, but I think Talking Head might.
Can
what do
we
you think,
vote him for
Talking Head? Are you
president?
going to vote for yourself or vote for Hana? Who's going to be the person who gives us the truth?
Now,
I don't know. I feel like wizards like generally sit there and aren't those.
Well,
like
we
guys
can't
who,
say
like,
that. That's like KKK, right? I'm sorry. I didn't mean that. I meant the little dog. The little dog who exposes the evil wizard, the KKK guy. Is it going to be you or Hana?
Tito.
Hana.
Toto.
I know you're mad at me. I'll just
Toto.
let you go. I'll let you go, man. I know you're mad at me.
But what?
I'm definitely mad, but this is fucking entertaining. It's good content. But don't get me wrong. I am mad. Absolutely.
But what is going to be the truth? What's today's truth? It may be lies now.
This is
but
great.
50 years from now, there's going to be some truth behind it, and maybe your great-great-grandson's going to pick it out. But in your case...
Sorry, who here's having kids?
He's not having kids.
I don't know.
You could try all you want, but you're not going to have kids.
No, I've come to the conclusion that I'm infertile at the...
You're not going to have kids. I may have a grandson, but you know what? If my son tells me, guess what? You're going to be a grandfather. I'm going to, oh, no, at my age, be a grandfather? I'll be the crazy grandfather.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's an interesting topic for conversation. How crazy would it be to have grandkids? That's interesting.
Oh. How would they react in the world they're going to
I know,
up,
yeah.
and they come up here.
Can you imagine more people? I mean, that's never happened before.
Imagine if this place turns out to be like a Long Island, that it becomes a sterilized society, that they forget their beginnings.
Well, what you have to do is you have to make sure that everybody has the volumes. So, you know that sculpture that was up, what's that called, Talking Head? The sculpture that the people blew up. They had that, we got to get
in Georgia.
Yeah, the Georgia Guidestones.
Yeah.
The Georgia Guidestones. Yeah, so what you should do is build a sculpture here and make sure that, your son never sells the property. Build like a sculpture with the Guidestones on it, and your Guidestone should be, on every subject, here's what you have to read, make sure you get the volumes. That way people will have the correct information in order to be able to discern truth from fiction for future generations. I think that's a legacy you could leave behind. I'll help you with the sculpture.
Well, the story behind that was that had to go back to the 30s or 40s. This guy gave money to a banker in, I think it was Macon, Georgia. They built it, and it was all a secret. And the guy funded the whole thing. But why did they blow it up? Because it has prophecy on it. They want to kill 500 million people, so the elite...
Well, actually, right now, they want to kill 7.5 billion people. So,
are we on that list?
No, not me.
I mean, more likely than you are of an Rn at that point.
Yeah, but I mean, I am figurehead of the New World Order. I am recently inducted into the Illuminati. We tried to establish that the Jews worship Lucifer, they control the world, and as a Satanist, I'm grandfathered in, whether or not I'm actually Jewish, although I am circumcised. But, you know, you didn't allow me to draw that connection, so, you know, I'm gonna put myself at about 85% in the in-group at this point. The Illuminati induction definitely helped. But yeah, the rest of you motherfuckers, I have no idea. I don't know. I think you guys might be fucked.
Well, again, we don't know who's going to be in, who's going to be out.
Yeah. I'm voting for myself.
You're voting for yourself?
Yeah,
Good
I think
for
I'll be
you.
in. I'll be all right.
But like I said,
I'm voting for extermination. I feel like it'll be better.
Gotta leave a legacy behind.
No, I don't.
What's your legacy?
I'm not under an obligation to leave anything behind.
That's true. You're not under any obligation to leave a legacy behind.
Nope. Don't give a fuck.
Well, why would somebody want to leave a legacy behind?
Oh, I think it's because they care about other people.
Well, we all going to know that the Rockefellers, the Trumps, the Kennedys, and all these people, they leaving a legacy behind because they're not going to be forgotten. They don't want to be forgotten.
Yeah. They will eventually.
Well, maybe 400 years they may be forgotten, but you don't remember people from 100 years ago. Only the rich, famous, outrageous people like George Custer that fought a war and lost, or Lincoln that was assassinated. These people have made a legacy for themselves. But the billions of people that have died, they're nothing. They're absolutely nothing. When the Irish came over...
By the way, Talking Head, this is every morning over here at the compound. So every morning, Harry is just a ray of sunshine. It's exactly this conversation.
Yeah, I don't know sunshine. I'm going to darken the moon like Bill Gates does.
Right. I know what
Bill
you're doing.
Gates is going to be a legacy.
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci is going to be a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
But these are people that do outrageous things to be remembered by.
Cool.
I will be totally forgotten in 50 years. They're going to say, Dennis, who? Nah, ain't going to be. Irving Schiff, I'm not going to let forgotten. All right? The thing is, what is everyone's legacy going to be? What are you going to be noted for in the end?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No.
So it's just in and out, the yin and the yang. Boom, around the circle once, and that's it.
No, I'm not planning on going anywhere, but...
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But like I said, we all have our little bit of information, and we sometimes play our cards that we do get a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
All right? You got to be real rich and famous or real outrageous to have a legacy. I mean, Trump's going to have a legacy. There ain't no doubt about it, because he is totally outside of the political world. Biden's going to have his about the elections. Now the question is, nothing has changed in this world. I don't care what era you talk about, what country you come from, what language you speak. The characters may change in color or the nationality, but the game is still playing the same. We're playing the same old game, and nothing's changing. We just have our little time period that we live our life, and then you're gone.
Yeah. I guess you're right. Wise words. We're getting to about that time. Talking Head, you have anything else to add? Any soapboxes you want to go out on?
Nah, I apologize for overreacting. So do we know where that comes from or whatever? Like, what is that video?
Who fucking cares? Thank you very much for watching the New World Order broadcast. And just remember, we're watching you too. Although, I think I'm going to go take a nap.